and Owatonna, and those clouds are going to fill in through the night as we have a cold front passing through, bringing just a slight chance of precip overnight. Now, winds are generally out of the west around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that is what has boosted these temperatures. So if you are headed out this evening, you probably will only need a sweater, maybe a hat and gloves, as we have 44 degrees currently. Not really any light rain yet, but that will be coming possibly. Well, your full forecast is coming up in just a little bit.
The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources says winters like this one can be tricky for burning. You may not think twice about fire danger when it's cold, but many areas have minimal snow cover and plenty of dry vegetation. The DNR says you can take a few simple steps to protect yourself, your home, and your community from burning dangers. Permits are required for fires larger than 3 feet by 3 feet or until there is at least 3 inches of continuous snow cover. The DNR says to plan your pile location, lowland areas pose a higher risk of burning down into the dry organic layer. You should always supervise the fire and keep water and a shovel nearby, as well as ensure your fire is out cold before you leave. Also, drown the site with water, stir, and then feel for residual heat. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. The Friends of the Rochester Public Library held its annual membership meeting today and announced new funding thanks in part to a grant from Shorewood Senior Campus. You won't lose your access to book-based resources. At the 75th meeting, Friends of RPL received more than $7,000 in funding. The grant, which draws money from the J.A. Wedham Foundation, will increase allocations for services that are frequently used by the local senior community. This includes the Homebound program and the Bookmobile, which brings the library to the community. Other highlights include a celebration for the group's volunteer hours, which were more than 16,000 combined, and $70,000 raised through internal fundraising last year. Building a trail system, investing in energy-efficient housing, or even creating a cultural landmark are all ways the University of Minnesota is hoping to inspire small communities to dream big through its new grant-funded program. KIMT News 3's Evan Berg spoke with the University Extension Regional Sustainable Development Department to learn more about the Empowering Small Minnesota Communities program. Evan.
Jess, according to Minnesota Extension, this program looks to help small communities refine development ideas into actual proposals that can be used to apply for a federal grant. It's geared toward local governments and community groups of 15,000 residents or less who want to invest in an infrastructure project with university experts, research, and resources to help applicants meet their goals depending on the grant. The projects can be in a wide variety of categories, including water quality, energy efficiency, or even parks and tourism. In southeast Minnesota, one of the program's pilot projects is a hiking trail being spearheaded by a Chatfield group.
So we're here sort of in a pro bono capacity, bringing in the experts so community could find the map maker or find the economist or find the facilitator who could work with them to develop the materials they need to then have pieces in place.
Any small town or community group can apply even if you're in the beginning stages. And while there is no maximum number of accepted applications during the first round, I've been told communities of 5,000 or less will be given priority.
Thank you, Evan. If you're interested in submitting a project proposal, applications are due by February 14th. Minnesota's 8 veterans' homes will see improvements in the quality of life for every service member living at the facilities. The state says the homes will share an $80,000 donation from the Veterans of Foreign Wars in Hutchinson for the second year in a row. The Minnesota VA says the money will be used to develop and deliver new activities, enhance existing programming, and purchase equipment designed to improve the quality of life for each veteran. Staying with care facilities, a new assisted living report card is now open to Minnesotans to find comparative ratings based on residents and family surveys, as well as state inspections. The Minnesota Department of Human Services says the assisted living report card currently features ratings for about 20% of the state's assisted living facilities, focusing on the largest ones, which are home to almost half of all Minnesotans who use the resource. Links to the report cards can be found on our website, KIMT.com. Tax season begins today, and many of you will be getting necessary mail to start filing. KIMT News 3's Maureen Dudley spoke with a financial planner about what we should all know this year before submitting our taxes.
Tax season is here and many people will be filing their taxes with a 1040 form. I spoke with North Star Financial Partners about what you need to know before you file.
Well, I think the biggest thing to know is that the tax filing deadline this year is April 15th for most people.
If you have kids, he says you can list them as dependents and get deductions. Decker goes on to say if you spent a lump sum on an item, you could receive a rebate in the mail to file through your taxes.
It's very important for people to file their taxes. I think the most important reason is they might have a rebate coming. One is that they're required to file their taxes. However, they might have a rebate coming, and they don't want to miss out on that.
Another thing you may be eligible for is getting a refund for renting in Minnesota. Most people will be able to have all their documents together by mid-February.
They want to make sure they've got all their tax documents together, so different documents are going to come in the mail at different times. Most of them are going to start coming out here this week. January 31st is the deadline for most organizations to get those tax documents out.
If you don't get your tax documents right away, you'll get them soon. One thing he emphasized is making sure you have all your tax documents organized before you start filing. In Rochester, Maureen Dudley, KIMT News 3.
Make sure you don't throw that W-2 away. I know I've already received mine, but if you have kids, check that mail before they throw anything out. North Star Financial Partners does say you should be on the lookout for that W-2 and 1099 form in the mail, as it should arrive very soon if it hasn't already.